Thank you for the snacks again.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Of course, not eating dinner.
We'll come back to the minutes, we'll see if we can get a quorum. So the first part, for the last couple of meetings, we've just done sharing of events and feedback and updates, and I have a couple things I want to share. One, I just got the information yesterday. The place where Bird and the Bee used to be, back on Titus, is going to be an art gallery. And it is Eckert Fine Art Gallery and Consulting. They are having a grand opening on Saturday, October 7th. So from 3 to 6, I'm going to encourage them to put that on Explore and sort of introduce myself.
I'll put it in here.
And the press release they sent me is 8 pages long.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's got like,
Oh, it's,
you know, it's got
that's big type too.
the artwork, you know, each page. But
3 to 6, you said?
there's an Alexander Calder. And there's a Marc Chagall. I know, I'm like, whoa. I go see those in museums, so. Which, I'm kind of like, I'm guessing, I'm assuming they're originals, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Wow.
so anyway, that's exciting, and I was
That is.
thinking about it as I was trying to work on the, trying to figure out how to start the map for the, cultural district, and here's another area.
Great.
So, yeah, yeah.
Fabulous.
So that is that. I have,
Oh, here comes some folks.
yeah. Oh, yay. Right, so we'll be able to get to the minutes shortly. All right, well, so I want to let them know about that too. So I guess last weekend, maybe Karen can tell us how the Wanda, the Shakespeare event went. I went to the farm dinner instead. Did you go to the Wanda dinner
We
or
had
concert?
Oliver.
Oliver.
Yep.
Oliver.
Vivian.
The musical.
Musical. She's
Not
in.
my son.
I know, I was like,
Amber
is
is
this
here
somebody
when I
who's
said
not-
Although Oliver should come see.
Yeah, no, we've been talking about it for months.
Hello?
Hello, where was your show?
Sharon Playhouse.
Sharon Playhouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's in the, it's their, she's in the main stage production.
Oh, how are you?
Everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in terms of our time.
Wow.
That's for August.
Greetings, salutations.
So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4.
So here, you want to sit right there. We'll just switch this right there.
Go ahead with, yeah, once you guys get settled in, and there's some snacks and drinks as well.
Before you left split?
Oh,
Or some friendly.
or a spritzer.
Or a spritzer.
Yeah, spritz it. Brenda, should I take chili on this?
I don't know, I think I could take 4 or 5, but I'm not sure.
If you need a peek, we'll put it right here after this.
Did I not? Agendas? Well, this is I think how everybody was gonna be. So we're all. So we were just starting to talk about events, but let's go back and call it a meeting officially to order. So 9. And do I have a motion to approve the minutes of July 13th?
I so moved.
And a second?
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, were there any comments or corrections or, I don't know, I think that's all there would be. Okay, so I have a motion to approve? All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, sorry, motion to. All in favor. Alright, so back to the agenda, we were just sharing some events and Abdul and Karen, I'll just quick tell you that I just found out yesterday. There is an art gallery going into the space where Bird and the Bee was over at 10
Oh, it
Titus.
is an art gallery.
Yeah, and they're having a grand opening Saturday, October 7th. 3 to 6. I'm gonna have them get that on the calendar, but they sent me this press release and they've got some very serious work, so.
Wow,
you know.
do we know who it is?
Yes, Eckert, what is it?
Eckert Fine Art Gallery and Consulting.
And it says moving, in the press release, it says moving back to Litchfield County, so maybe they had once had a gallery here, but there's some serious pieces in there.
So where is it?
Where the
10
Bird and the-
Titus, like
Yeah.
behind the gas station where Bird and the Bee was.
Right, well, there used to be a gallery there.
Bird and the Bee was
Sort of
a
quasi.
but they had art on the wall, they had art
Yeah.
coming through all the time. Yeah, they did a lot of shows there,
Right,
so yeah, it's
Right.
nice,
I
space,
would-
I'm pretty
Wow.
sure it's the front space, maybe it's actually the back space. Cause there were two spaces
Yeah, the backspace, I don't think had ever been really
rented,
rented out.
so it might, I could be wrong, it could be the back space, that building is all I know.
Okay. Well, I've heard that Brian McNally is opening a restaurant in the front space. Now, I don't know if that, well,
Which space? I'm sorry?
the front.
Where
Oh, wow.
oh, wow, hey.
You know, I was
Could use
talking
another
to
restaurant.
Jay, who owns the building, and he's coming.
Washington is rocky.
Well, wow, well, this is impressive.
Yeah, right,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not a big art person and I'm used to the names.
That means something right there.
Yeah.
I don't know them because they live down the street.
No,
Like, I know them
like-
from like the work.
The world.
Not just because they're
It
here.
was local, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Let me,
no,
yeah, think,
yeah. So that's coming up. I do have the events for the weekend coming up. And it looks like there's an art show opening at Judy Black. And that Marissa Bell is doing some art at the library, then we got some wine tasting. To, the annual, corn festival. Yeah, so some good stuff coming up this weekend. Karen, how did the Wanda?
It was good.
event go?
Oh,
Yeah?
the night was so beautiful.
Beautiful
It couldn't have
night.
been a better night, and she's just so inspired.
She's
great.
amazing.
She
I
is,
missed it this year. I went a couple of years ago, but yeah,
Yeah.
she was great.
It was
Loved
great.
Good.
Really
Good.
good. A happy night.
To hear it, we were otherwise engaged, sorry, we couldn't.
Well, there
we
was
did
a lot
bunch
of,
things,
there
it's
was
all
a lot of competition.
There's a lot going, I ended up going to the farm dinner
Yeah, and a
that
lot of
Victoria was
people- yeah.
doing, just asked for token and sponsored some,
Yeah.
so, yeah. But you have a house tour coming up, so. Yes. I'm gonna get tickets for that. And Fran, I was noticing, I was reading through the minutes of the last meeting. And you're doing a book signing that coincides with the opening that's happening with WA. The Art Association's.
We're doing a
section.
book signing on Saturday and
Okay,
the thing is on Sunday.
and was it art?
Alan Shane has a new book and Norman's book from last year will be part of it too.
Yeah, so I didn't see that on Explore yet, so we should
We
make
haven't
sure.
put it, yeah, no, I have to remind Polly to put it up tomorrow.
Okay, excellent, and I'll reach out to Juan, Simon's away, but just to make sure that gets on there too, because that sounds really interesting. And Washington, I didn't bring my postcard with me, Friends of Music. Or
Yeah,
concert
yeah.
series is starting shortly. Trying to think of what else was on our postcard that's left for the summer, I can't believe we're,
It's
Uh,
and not
It's in
just.
the front of your. No.
Do we need some more things for the kiosk?
So think we're good. So I'm not sure what happened a couple weeks ago. It got left out in the rain apparently and blew over and our stuff was all over. And Liz, it was down at the end of the driveway, I guess, and Liz, from Five Janes collected
I
it all.
wondered
for
if
us.
somebody moved it because I was there 2 weeks ago with Victoria and I know that she walked it over
She
and
brought
put
it
it
up.
up on the porch.
It's weird. I don't know. I
I
have
mean,
no
I don't
idea.
think nobody would have left it out on the
That's what I
plaza.
figured. The
Yeah.
only thing I thought was maybe there was a miscommunication, like somebody was gonna come at noon and so they left it.
No,
But
no,
anyway,
not at
I
all.
cleaned it out. There's some of the stuff that was on it got wet and I had to throw it away, but thankfully I had backups. So I usually only put a small stack of each
Okay,
event out and keep the backups up in my office.
okay.
So I had to throw a few things away, but.
Well, I
it's
think what we
good.
should discuss then is a better plan and for securing it, because what we've been doing. Victoria and I have been there most Saturdays is at the end of our schedule, then she would walk it up and put it up on the porch.
Yeah, which seems really fine to me, and then I put it away on Monday morning. Actually, I think, like, if I'm driving by, like on Sunday, one day I ran and put
Okay,
it away,
okay, but I know, I mean, I saw her walk it over
but. Yeah,
there that
that's really
day.
strange. I wonder if something was happening and somebody thought they were like doing us a favor and putting it out.
God, I hope.
I'm not super worried. It was a few pieces of paper. I restocked like,
Okay.
I'm not
okay,
too worried. I just didn't know if something happened, but I just had a woman, named Paula from Momix reach out. They've got a show coming up and she was wondering if she could put postcards in and she said, and we could maybe man the thing for on the next 2 Saturdays. She must have stopped by and spoke,
Yeah.
cause it sounded like she knew the.
Cynthia and I, when I was last doing it, Cynthia and I were talking for a while, so
Cool.
they are aware that it's happening and that they
Awesome.
instigated that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, so we might have some help for the next 2
Great.
Saturdays. I
That'd
have
be
to just
super.
touch base with them.
Okay.
I emailed back, but they left a phone number and I didn't have a chance to,
Okay,
so I'll try to do
okay.
it tomorrow. So,
Well, let me and let Victoria know, because we've been sort of the ones who.
yeah,
They're not,
she's away this weekend, right?
I've been gone every week.
I know, I did the first 2 and then I was away.
Yeah.
I feel like it was 2 weeks ago, but it was in June, for sure.
I was in June as well.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Um,
definitely over 10.
Are
So-
you planning on,
well, I mean,
Going on
Victoria and I would
Saturday?
love to have somebody else do it. I
Yeah.
certainly have a busy Saturday, but I can make it happen.
well, I'll email you. I wanna just touch base with that. It would be really nice if we could overlap with
A
them.
little
just,
bit.
You know, and then maybe they can finish it up and put it
I
away.
just think the important thing is somebody has to get it
Yeah,
on Friday, right, out of your office.
no, I put it out on the porch.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, and
Okay.
actually I'm gonna come in tomorrow. Usually I put it out Thursday night, but. And I printed this is what, you know, I printed it for the board. I usually like stock it and
Great.
stick it out. So, so let me just see what the timing, the.
you know, sort of, we've
Moments.
sort of been doing 10:30 to 12.
Yeah,
That seems, and we can sit kind of in front of the jewelry, silver and gold place.
I
There's
was
a
gonna
little
ask.
tree. And we get 2 chairs from Judy Black,
okay,
and you know, it's kind of shaded just a bit if it's a sunny day, so it works really well.
perfect.
And it's a sort of a psychological, sociological study in the people that take the information and the people that don't.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, well,
Oh,
and
it's
I remember
fascinating.
the weekends that I did it too, I kept trying to figure out which way to face the board.
Yeah, that's why
right?
if there are 2
Yeah.
people, then you
Yeah,
can
it's
kind
kinda
of,
nice,
you've got.
so they'll
a
see it,
little
'cause there's clearly
cross
stuff,
current.
you know, brochures on one side
Yeah.
and then just question what's happening. in the other side.
I was surprised because everybody was very receptive, you know, and happy and all that. And right in front of us, there was this convertible, a small sports car. with the Ukrainian flag. So I figure it has to be a groovy guy. So he comes in, sits down, so I run to the car. He said, no, I don't want anything else. I don't want anything. And I go, okay.
Right.
But you just never know. Probably had a bad day. you know?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, no, you see all sorts, it is interesting, I
It
actually.
is fascinating.
Yeah.
Watching everybody, the way where they walk and where they go and.
Yeah.
All of that, good study.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know, I'm around also, so I'll hopefully cross
Okay,
paths.
well, I think if we
Moment.
can think of 10:30 to 12.
Yeah,
That
30 to 12.
hour and a half seems to catch.
I'll try to join you on this Saturday because I have to go to an opening in the library in Roxbury. There is an opening for one of our
Nice.
friends.
Which reminds me, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the postcards that are on there from WA are the other show. They just opened one,
Right, they have a new
The
show.
70, yeah,
the 70
and I don't think I have a postcard for that one. So
They surely have a bunch.
I'm sure they do. So maybe while
I'll
we're
pick
there, we
them
can,
up.
yeah, just stop by
Yeah.
WA
Great.
and grab some and update
And then
that.
I've got a stack of flyers for the house tour. So I want to put that out
Yeah.
now that one is.
No, the one is over. Perfect. Yeah, so we'll put the house tour on and I'll put the extras in my office so that I can make sure, because they get humid, they kind of.
Yeah.
Get.
I know how that, yeah, like we all do.
This rain.
I know. Absolutely. Great, so do we have any other? I'm just looking at the agenda, sharing of events and feedback or scheduling of events, anything else that any comments or? No,
We are hoping to do a fundraiser for Connecticut Theater Exchange in December, what is it, 16th, 17th? At, get the right date. We're just waiting on a couple things to get that finalized through the gun school.
okay,
That'd be Saturday the 16th. And then we'll get it on the calendar.
and it would be at the Frederick Town School?
Yeah.
Okay, and
First
do you know
sort
what
of-
it is gonna be? Like,
We're a couple
the
things.
show?
It is definitely more of a fundraiser experience where we will have some theatrical something or other.
Sure.
Yes, and some
Theatrical people.
theatrical
Like,
people
really,
and
whatever.
musical people who do musicals, perhaps, and the usual food and drink and festive atmosphere. So yeah, it's great.
I think I mentioned to you, Rob Fama, F-A-M-E.
Maybe not me, but maybe
Fama,
Ken, did you
Fama.
talk to Ken?
No,
Okay,
I
sorry.
mentioned to you the last time. He was off Broadway, blah, blah, all
Right.
his life performing.
Mhm.
And I went to see him do the, what did they do? Fantastic
Oh, yeah.
in Woodbury.
Mhm.
And it's amazing. I mean, this is his kind of Zero Mostel kind of type,
Oh, excellent.
great personality and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'll give him your information.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'd love to connect with him.
And he wants to do, he works on he and his partner, they both work on Blue. That program on television, Blue something,
Blue Bloods?
Blue Bloods.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
but now they're all on a strike,
Right.
so he's looking for things to do. He's
Right,
kind
right.
of like, I need to be on the stage.
Oh, cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'd love to be
Yeah,
connected
and
with
he
him.
lives by here in Washington,
Excellent.
so
Excellent.
it's fun, but we'll exchange.
That sounds great. Ashley.
Numbers
Really
before you
appreciate
go.
that. Really, yes.
December is a busy time, so keep an eye on the calendar.
Yeah,
It is a busy time. We're also, the only other like bandwidth we could have would be when we're not, the school is not, it's when the school's not in session.
Yeah.
And May and June, there's a bazillion beautiful fundraisers going on.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
no, right,
And,
absolutely, it's nice to be opposite that.
and we don't have, because Litchfield Jazz Fest is there all July. And then the school kind of wants to take it all back in August to prep for the year. We're just like, well, let's do something in December. Like,
Yeah, I was
It's
thinking
really
like March
hard.
break is tough, because many people are
so people
traveling.
go,
Yeah.
it's a really quiet time
Yeah.
at that
And
time.
the school
And
doesn't have like a long February break or something.
they do, but it's not ideal for us because our kids in school.
Yeah.
And, it's just,
Okay,
it's
go
just,
for
it's
it.
just a dumb time. I know.
Is the
We're-
16th a
It's a
Saturday?
Yeah, and we've looked at so many dates and there's just, we have to deal with so many not just our calendar, but
Yeah, yeah.
the
I
school's
know.
calendar.
Well, and
Mhm.
a lot of the holiday stuff actually happens really early, like Holiday in the Depot.
Right, which is the first
The,
weekend.
the
The
gun memorial
library,
tree,
in the
like,
library.
they're all pretty much right up front, that
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, so we're hoping it'll be enough of a draw. We're gonna hopefully do it early enough so it's not super late, right?
When does school get out?
The day before.
The date. Yeah, I was like, I feel like it's awfully early.
Yeah.
It's still a little tight, right? It's
Yeah.
not like they go home at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The
It's,
day before.
yeah. And there's just also just some personal things that
Yeah.
are popped up on our own calendar that we just, there's no way we can pull it off. So
That's good.
we're aiming for that right now.
Alright.
Well,
Aiming for that.
That's
So we're,
just
yeah,
go for it.
yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
We do have,
Learn, right? You never
Right.
know until you try and then see how it goes.
yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we'll hopefully if we can get 50 to 75 people, we'll feel that's a success. We can't go for, 220 like this guy over here. Or how many were levels, right? Well, yeah, do something.
15.
Yeah, we'll look for a cozier
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, yes, more intimate.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. Are any other sharing of events or feedback or scheduling?
We have this is like not really an event, but we have a dress rehearsal for an event that's in Torrington on August 19th. And the dress rehearsal is on August 18th at 11 p.m. And we need volunteers. They have an event on Friday evening that
Oh my
closes the roads, which is why we're able to even have the rehearsal. But we thought that they were gonna be able to let us do it at like 8:30. It has to be after dark. So,
Oh, I would
and then it's Steph's event, Burr's event, but it's,
Yes.
so we need volunteers in our dress rehearsal. It's for the Umbrella Project, which we're doing in the cultural festival the next day.
Litchfield, yeah.
Do you guys all get the Arts Council, Northwest Arts Council email? This last one, I saw it
Yeah.
there and I was like, oh, that looks so cool.
Yeah,
But there were so many good
So
things happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone that weekend, but Kent was hoping to be at the cultural festival.
yeah, so maybe
Just
he
to
wants
sort
to
of-
stay up late on Friday.
just sort of
night. I
suss
can't
it out.
stay up till 11 p.m. Like, I was like, I don't think I can do that.
Friday
Well,
at
we
11
went
p.m.
Friday at
Yes.
11
We
p.m.
need
Cause we
volunteers.
set up
for-
at 9 p.m. But it's fun.
That would be fun.
And
If it wasn't still doing, just closes Oliver, the Oliver stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And where would that be?
it's on Friday, August 18th at 11 p.m.
Where?
in front of the border.
Okay,
It's on Main
okay.
Street. in-
I'm a night person, so I may volunteer.
You
for
may?
Oliver.
Yeah.
that. 11 o'clock is early for me.
Yeah.
Early,
So
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Who else do you know that's a night owl? Cause we're looking for all of them and they don't live like, you know, like.
I think
College
it's a
age,
College
college
age.
age,
Yeah,
school
right.
college age kids.
Yeah,
would be
maybe
like
the-
the ones who'd be all about it, like, is there a,
The college from the
the
what
arts,
is the college called? The
five
Five
points
Points
arts
Gallery
center,
folks,
yeah.
maybe.
You should check in with them.
Yeah,
Because they
So
have-
I'm
I think Renee's daughter is our go-to.
thinking that, so there's an outdoor movie that night.
Yeah, like after the movie, like drive up to Torrington. And
Stuff, do some art.
Yeah, there's a concert at the church, okay. Well, I
Everything.
put it on my calendar, cause there was
I'm concert at Madison Square Garden, so I'm really out.
oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you were totally out.
Yeah.
let me, I think that would be so fun.
It would be.
I would love to volunteer.
Really fun,
too.
it's
I-
really
but
a
it's
shame
a
that they
Judy
did
Black
this.
movie that I should be there, but let me see what the timing, how long it is. Cause I don't think they can start until like 8:30, they start
Yeah.
at dark.
Yeah.
9:30, well,
It's often 9, but I think by
Yeah.
that point in August, it's probably.
It would probably be a little bit earlier, yeah.
Alright, well, that's cool,
Yeah.
and everybody, I should, that cultural fest is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's, looks really amazing,
Yeah.
and it's sponsored by the cultural district. I saw their little symbol, which I think is cool, you know, as
the Northwest.
so that would be fun to attend as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that because yeah, that's before our next meeting. So check it out. Awesome. All right. Is that good? So moving on to the agenda, build email list for announcements, and I've got,
Is it MailChimp I see?
yeah, so I spoke with with Mandy, but then since the last meeting, like she was on vacation and I was on vacation, but basically, there's nothing. There's nothing that the town has that we can build on, they're still on a free account. And I looked at the rules now and they must be grandfathered, because the rules on the MailChimp, and I found my notes. I think it's 500. You can have up to 500 email addresses, and you're allowed to send no more than 1,000 emails a week, I think it was. So you could, that's basically, if you have 500, you could send twice, two weeks.
Yeah.
I think 500 is would, like, if we get that, great, then you can pay for that, but that's a lot. So I feel like the free version is perfectly adequate. I don't anticipate, we don't want to inundate people because we don't want them to unsubscribe.
Right.
So I think all we need to do is just sign ourselves up for a free version, and maybe what it will do, because Victoria and I did set up a Google account that it's an Arts Council email. It's an Arts Council, Washington Arts Council, I forget exactly.
She sends from it.
And she sends from it, and we can both log into it. Anyway, so maybe we'll use that as like the sign up for this email list. And then we can create a QR code so that if somebody's walking by sandwich board, or we can put an announcement in the selectmen's email to say, hey, I mean, we'll have to kind of think about what we want, how we would want to use that. Because I feel like it would be more specific. I think we're looking more specifically for people involved in the arts. Because if we're just trying to let people know something's happening, we would put it in the selectmen's email.
Right,
That's the biggest thing.
Right, you don't wanna.
And they won't share that, because you're not supposed to share that, if you
Yeah.
haven't, agreed to be on another list, so.
Right.
So we'll have to think about, I don't envision this being a
Yeah, it
massive
should
list.
be more of a involvement kind of email. So it would feel like
I feel
not
like-
an event announcement.
No, like, these are like, people who are involved in the arts who may wanna participate. I don't
Or
know,
volunteer for an event.
Yeah.
or-
Right.
I mean, I guess, I would imagine anybody signing up for our list would probably also be on the selectmen's email, and if we're, but I don't know, well, we can like that, we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to kind of figure out what exactly that email list is for. But, so we'll go ahead and just set one up and start figuring out how to populate it. All right? All right, new business, let's take a look at this logo. So I have the spreadsheet here, everybody emailed to Mandy, so we don't know who voted for what, and whose comments were what, and we got 8 out of 9 people, and I don't know who didn't participate, so.
That's the beauty of the anonymous.
Yeah, Mandy.
Although
probably
Mandy
does.
knows,
Mandy
right,
knows.
Mandy
She could match up.
could send a direct email to an individual.
She could, but one vote wouldn't have changed this, so if everybody looks at this, everybody, liked the third one. And I passed those out, and I thought maybe, did you?
I didn't actually take one, because I thought it.
So what I think is worth talking about for a minute here I don't wanna do too much without Victoria, but. I was in looking at the comments, cause there are 4 options in this logo. And, all, kind of talked about celebratory and inclusive and all of that, which is wonderful. But we still have 4 versions.
Right,
One comment said they liked version 2, one comment said they liked version 3. So I feel like, and I felt like those 2 seemed like the most versatile and easiest to use. So what really the difference is, one had Washington Arts Council in the larger letters. And then Arts for All, which is the tagline that we had kind of thrown out there.
yeah,
And then the third one, sorry, has celebrating life through the arts. I mean, obviously, you could have these words in any place. But I feel like we should maybe try to hone in on one of these so we can be consistent. Knowing that we could always do something different if, let's say, we want to put like on a dark background or,
right.
right? No, does that make sense?
Well, yes, I think I was probably the person who didn't vote.
Okay.
It comes out.
Found person, that's fine.
But I mean, these would have been my votes.
Okay,
I
so there we
think
go,
that,
7.
if you want sort of I mean, I think it was just so obvious. So just, I think for me personally, I think one of the things that I hope this logo would do is to feel inclusive. And that's why I think Arts for All really is an important tagline. And
So you would like the second version, you think?
Yeah.
well, yeah, I do,
Okay.
and I like, well, the first and second versions are pretty similar, except the A is bigger in the second version, unless I'm missing something.
Yeah,
That's
no,
great.
that's the only difference. And I think one of the comments talked about that the A, that it was easier to read with the A or something. Oh, with the A bigger and higher than the, oh, that's how they just.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's quite good.
I like the inclusivity part of it, because all the arts organizations, they have made a turnaround to be more inclusive.
Yeah.
So we have to be part of that movement.
Great.
So
So it sounds to me,
Arts for All sounds good to me.
Arts for All, I think we liked that, and I like that it's in there, so we
Yeah.
wanted to say that, so let's take a look. So Arts for All is important. Look at the letters in the top 3 versions. We have, the second one has the taller A, the third one has the blend, because we can have the words
Right,
be the way they are. Which way do we like the W, A, and C?
I like the taller A for
The
some
taller A,
reason.
yeah, okay.
with the Arts for All.
With the Arts for
within
All.
the
Yeah.
A.
So just straight up version 2.
Number 2,
Yeah,
Number 2,
and I'm the one that voted for number 3, so I feel like that vote, I'm
Okay.
eliminating that. You can like pretend there was never a vote for number 3.
well, the one thing that's different about that one is the letters.
Yeah, but you know
sort of
what?
blend
Right
together.
now, it looks like a subway map to me.
Yeah, it's
Over it.
harder to
I'm like
tell.
totally
those-
over
Yeah.
3 and 4, they look like subway maps.
Yeah,
Okay,
Done.
okay,
No, I
version
think-
2.
I think
sounds-
2 is great.
That's a
I
good
don't
one.
think you.
I love
can
that.
that was my
do
favorite.
Yeah, me too, I love it.
Do
All
we-
right.
Do we know whose logo it was, or are we ever gonna know, or?
Yes,
I mean, I think it would be nice to acknowledge
I
that person.
agree, I agree. I have to look back, it all went into the Google
Okay,
thing, and I don't think that it was identified here, but I would have to go back to the emails that they sent in, and Victoria looked at those, so I don't wanna misspeak.
okay.
are we gonna make some sort of an announcement with that?
And I have to remember what we said in our logo thing, like the people who submitted got
We're
get
giving a
a
gift
law
certificate.
membership or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
There
and
was
I think
something.
there should
Yeah.
be some acknowledgement.
Yeah, no, I agree, so we'll put,
Yeah.
I think we should put an announcement, because we want people to know about our new
Well,
logo.
exactly.
So we should
And I
put it in
think
the
it's
selectmen's
great.
email. Saying,
Yeah.
hey, this is our new
So
logo.
we're also giving a gift certificate.
Thank you so much to so-and-so for designing.
Did Fran, did you have something?
Yeah, Fran, were you saying
Yeah,
something?
I'm just saying, we're giving a gift certificate to the winner, so it has to be.
There was.
I love it.
That's great.
I just love it. I think it's so, just so clean and straightforward.
Well, oh, and I wanna show this, so, in our last meeting, Sarah had asked about everybody else in town's logos and whether it was gonna look too much like anyone else, and I just put together a smattering,
Oh, you're so great.
which is kind of fun to look at, and then I was envisioning ours on there,
Yeah.
and it's gonna look, it's fantastic. It's,
Ours is black and white, so yeah, I mean Connecticut Theater Exchange, so we're good, yeah.
oh yeah, I didn't pull yours,
It's all right.
it wasn't on any
It's all right.
lists I had.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
getting it out there.
Yeah, cool. That reminds me. On the town website, under the community tab, there's a list of nonprofits and a list of clubs and organizations.
Yes.
Have them add you, and that goes to Mandy. You've got her email.
Okay.
She'll add it and she'll link it to her website.
Writing in print. I left it in the car. My to-do, thank
Yes,
you.
so make sure you do that.
Indeed.
I was going through it and grabbing some, and I found a couple bad links, so I'm gonna talk to her about that, but.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll do an announcement.
And I just,
The next meeting.
and of course, I don't know who did this, but I just love that the larger A is also green.
And it A for arts, I liked that too. Arts is more
Yeah.
important than.
It's right, because it is all about the arts. I hadn't even thought about that. The more we talk about it, the more I
The
like it.
better it is.
Yes. That is wonderful. So we'll get an announcement in, we'll get the gifts out, we'll acknowledge the person. Great. Okay, any other comments or move on to the logo? Old business, update and review of cultural district work. I can read straight from Victoria's email, which says that Karen and I were both producing big fundraisers and were unable to meet. Which,
It's
yeah.
true.
and I was away, it's like summer, right? It's been
It's
so
a bit
busy.
difficult.
I'm gonna start working on that map. In re-listening to the last meeting and going through my notes from my meeting with Steph Berg, we do need to get our whole presentation together so we can have a public hearing. And then we get the feedback, then we go for a resolution in town. So we definitely, this is,
A town public hearing.
which we can have the public hearing at one of our meetings. We can
Okay.
just have the first, the first 30 minutes be the public hearing, and we can adjourn to an arts council or vice versa. However we wanna do that. That's what happens in zoning meetings, or planning meetings where they have a public hearing, and we've done that with housing before too, when we were, sharing the affordable housing community.
And isn't there a time frame for when you have to announce that it is a public hearing?
Yeah,
So-
I think it's gotta be at least 2 weeks in advance.
Oh, okay. I
And
thought
then
it could be-
again,
Could be like 5 or 6, so I was like,
yeah, no, and posting of a referendum for school budgets is 30
much
days,
longer. Okay.
30 days
You can't
minimum.
wait to see that.
But I think it's 2 weeks for a public hearing. So, yeah, so we'll get to just start working on that presentation, and part of that is getting the map and getting all of our.
Are you,
list.
is there a, I missed, cause I missed last meeting, is there a, sort of a concentrated time that you're gonna be working on that, and that, you know, we are we going to figure that out? Cause I'm thinking in terms of how I know once this fall kicks in. If I had like 2-hour time slot, I could commit to that, but I would feel really hard, I would feel really bad about my inability to be consistent if we were to sort of drag it out. from one to 10. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, I think we've got some stuff, I know, with the
I wanna help.
photo exhibit coming up,
Yeah.
like. Victoria likes to keep things on a very tight timeline, or she likes to propose very tight timelines. And I think they're ambitious and wonderful and perfect to shoot for, but I don't. They're really simple. And then, and
Michelle,
it's
this
sort of,
sounds like me in my office. Just
and it's,
everybody
and
goes,
that's,
oh, yeah, no, you'll have it by Monday, totally.
yeah. And it's already, and it's, I mean, that's how it's playing out, you know, in our last meeting, we're like, oh, certainly by the next meeting, we'll have this, and this, and we don't, and which is fine, there's a lot going on.
Are you needing
So-
help? Are you needing like a committee of
So-
folks working on this?
So, not yet.
Okay.
I feel like I need to sit down with all the stuff that Steph told me and the statute.
Okay.
The list of things that need to happen. And I just need to wrestle with some of it a little bit and then bring it back to
Okay,
you guys. There's like a narrative component. I mean, we could divvy up a few things. When it comes time to like making the presentation, I'm sort of envisioning a PowerPoint. We have to explain
what it is.
what it
we're
is,
doing,
why it would be good for the town, what we're proposing, and really
the
celebrate.
map. I mean, I think the map is.
The map,
really-
I know, and I started working on that today and already it's kind of,
It's very,
And understanding that it needs to be walkable, but you can say, and then up the hill, there's like an arrow pointing, there's like a bunch of stuff that goes
well,
up the hill.
yeah, so I think the recording of the last meeting is there.
Yeah.
Basically, we talked to Steph about that. They're gonna come and they're gonna walk it. So we're gonna
They e-bike it.
Basically, what we said is, our plan is to include green.
Yeah.
I did a walking, you know, I Google mapped it from walking, so that it's on Barn Road, here it is.
Yeah,
From the Art Association to the T-Pack,
yeah.
1.4 miles, so it'll take you 31 minutes.
It's good work. Robin does.
so
it's a
we-
lot.
Yeah.
It's a really good
Twice
workout.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it tons of times, cause I live,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not walkable for everybody,
Yeah.
No,
no,
it's not.
right? And if it's
It's not
hot,
accessible.
no.
No.
And
it's-
there's no
That's why
sidewalk.
they run shuttle.
So we're gonna include it, and they may say we need to cut it out. I still think we're strong enough to go with just the depot if they don't let us include the green.
I agree.
But, well, we'll just get their feedback.
Yeah.
Right? But we'll try to make sure that it's not, you know, if we can get it done by fall, that would be great. I don't see that happening. We don't wanna walk up that in February. I mean, I've
Right.
done it in January, you know, when I was on a mission, I was going to the Post for lunch. I'm walking up there, you get your winter coat stuff, you get up that hill, you're
Workout.
sweating. Because you're so bundled, and then you get to the top and you're freezing. Anyway.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. It's not, it's just not, it's just not, so we'll be strategic. It can't hurt, all they can do is say no, and then we'll scale it back. Yeah,
I think you just have to pinpoint, you know, like I'm blanking on his name, but the structure of the head.
oh,
And then, you know,
Grove,
it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, you
Grove
just
grass.
have to walk up because that's.
yes, no, it's true,
Jill sculptures, that's part of,
the walk,
when people ask questions, well, have you ever gone up the hill the back way and seen the heads?
that's part of the landmark.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
a landmark.
You're in a landmark.
Actually, it should be included. I'm gonna actually write that.
I think it helps our case, so, you know.
I agree.
Well, and I think the other thing is, to the extent that you can view them from the road, are the Rossiter houses
Oh, that's true, they're historic homes,
Yeah.
you know, and it's sort of.
by a world-renowned architect.
Okay.
Which are the Rossiter houses?
Oh,
My,
gosh.
my ignorance.
On that little stretch
Well,
of
they're
road,
all
you know.
around. I mean, the original
Green?
library,
Oh, okay.
St. John's
Ah.
Church, the Rocks, Rock
So
Gate.
right across from the main entrance to Frederick Gunn School on Kirby
Mhm.
is Rossiter's house.
That was
His-
it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were
It's
called the
called the
Rock,
Rock, so I think they may have taken the sign down, I'm not sure.
but that was his
That-
original.
that was, he built it for himself. Leave the one across the street on
Barnes.
No, not Barnes.
It's Rossiter Road.
Rossiter
Yeah, no,
Road,
it's
yeah,
Rossiter Road, that
Rossiter
stretch
Road.
from the
Yeah.
gate of the school to Barnes is Rossiter Road.
Okay, yeah, there's two houses. on there,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's also one.
Those are Rossiter,
So,
and
yeah,
then-
they're historic homes that might be worth knowing.
And then- totally,
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Really,
Good point, that's a good point.
the library, the front of the library was done by him, St. John's.
You too. I know we redid the front of First Congregational, I'm pretty sure. He redid the porch, it was built before him when it came, but it's also Club Hall, maybe?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, club.
So, yeah, those are all worth
Okay.
noting. So before our next meeting, I'll start trying to struggle with that map. See if I can get something that's halfway decent. It's a good spread out area, and I was wondering,
Right.
if you zoom in on the two,
Yeah,
you kind of take away from the case you're trying to make that it's walkable. Right? So, yeah, that's as far as I got. All right.
How about if we have a hayride for those who don't
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the thing is, if we were
want to do it,
If we
you
were
know?
doing an event,
Yeah.
we could, we've shuttled, we've done things like
Yeah,
that.
well, we can do
But you
something
can't have
charming.
it continuously running, right?
We don't have public transportation
No,
out here,
I
that's
know.
not on the verge of happening.
not gonna happen.
Wow, wouldn't it be cool though, if there were like 4 e-bikes,
Yeah,
or maybe 8, like 4 at the top.
we had like a mini city bikes.
Right, and then
Perfect,
just
right.
for going from one place to the other, from the top to the bottom.
Well,
Or
maybe
back
we
down.
could enlist, this very rich man who is trying to make New Preston into another
Mr. Shabbat.
yeah, do you know him?
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe he
I
would
mean-
donate,
well, it's interesting, we could put together a proposal, but it's not crazy.
He's gonna want him to be stationed in New Preston and the depot.
But
Well,
I
they
got
would be in
bikes
the
to New
depot.
Preston, bike to New Preston, but for this purpose though,
Yeah.
we're just trying to connect the green and the depot, that's 1.5 miles. Which is a very walkable distance, it's just that it's also very elevated. New Preston that's a whole nother thing,
well, you're
That's-
not gonna walk from the depot to New Preston.
No,
no,
No.
I bike it, but you're not gonna walk it. So anyway, that's
Okay,
Interesting.
Yeah, cause those could always be available, like if you had the system,
Yeah.
for borrowing, just like the city bus.
as long as we're not responsible for any accident.
I know, right, the liability, I don't know how any.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a pipe dream down, like, we
Yeah.
gotta get a district first,
Yeah.
but I was just trying to think of like, what could always be available, besides the hay wagon. Cause you can't have that on standby all the time.
Yeah.
So,
all
as
right.
fun as that would be. Alright, we'll move on to the photo exhibit. So, a couple of things. The first, and I mentioned this to Victoria, I was putting all my stuff for the fall into the calendar and I noticed that I am away the weekend we planned our opening for a wedding, a family wedding in California. So I reserved the hall. We had started it for Thursday, so we could set up for Thursday to open on Friday, and I pushed it back to Wednesday so that I can help set up. And get all the
Stuff
stuff.
they know for this Wednesday.
Yeah, no, I changed that,
Okay.
even if nobody else can come. We were originally gonna do the opening on Friday, and I have complete confidence you all can do that without me.
And I won't be here.
Oh, you won't.
So what's the date on that? I'm sorry.
And I printed a.
Get this
So
here,
I
Larry.
could write stuff down, cause I wanted to talk about, are you away that whole weekend?
I'm fine. I'll
No,
be in
it's not.
Portugal.
It's
Oh,
not
jeez.
there.
From when to when?
Well, that's the holiday weekend too, right?
So
October
the
4th,
reason we were
15th, okay.
opening that weekend.
October
because
4th?
the Harvest
The
Fest is on the
15th.
8th, and we thought it would be really fun to open before, there'd be a lot of people in town, maybe we could be open for part of the Harvest Fest. I get back into town midday Sunday, so the other things I was thinking is, do we do an opening after the Harvest Fest? you know, if people, cause that ends at 5, do we do an opening from like 5 to 7? As people are leaving, or maybe consider Monday, cause that's a holiday and we would have it off and we could do something in the afternoon if we wanted, or we leave it on Friday. And it's completely whatever.
I think
people-
Friday, because Monday's a holiday, but people will be going
People
back
leave
to the
on-
They'll be
city.
doing other
they're-
stuff,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
I just wonder if Friday, like, doesn't Thursday make more sense on a holiday weekend? Cause on Friday, or I guess people come here.
Yeah,
I
You
know.
leave, huh?
I'm a leaper, I miss the Harvest Festival.
You live
often.
there, yeah.
Yeah, but
But
you're
we
right,
had
no, people
3,000,
come.
we had 3,000 people
yeah,
come to
I
the
think
Harvest
it's
Fest
gotta
last
be
year.
that weekend.
Wait, we're, I'm sorry, I missed it, clearly. What is this? Yeah, what is the Harvest Fest?
The Harvest Fest, it's
Yeah.
just a pavilion.
Yeah.
And it's,
Scarecrows.
it's.
Oh,
a
okay,
scarecrow.
it's maybe an enchanted gone, I've been in a little or something.
Yeah.
The Arts Council
Should
should do
definitely
it,
have.
right,
thing,
it's
yeah.
a way to let people know who we are, get the logo, get the
Yeah.
logo. Come on, arts people,
Big logo of the entrance, yeah. Arts Council.
It's
well, for
Saturday.
the art show, absolutely, but,
Yeah.
how do you all feel about? Wow, that wasn't even, that's just, it was random, but the Arts Council should definitely do a scarecrow.
Yeah.
Start thinking about that, get the other missing people.
So Wednesday, are we putting this on a calendar? To set up the,
Wednesday.
So, yeah, that would be great, I mean, if people can't come the
evening,
I figured I would start during the day, actually, we can't, there's a planning meeting. In here at 7:30, but we could go before that,
okay,
and I'm here all day, so I was gonna
I
like
would-
start dragging out the racks and just getting.
What's the date on that? Wednesday, what?
So the opening was the 6th. So we're thinking of set up either the 4th or 5th, and people can come during the day on the 5th as well, I just am gonna be out of town. And I spoke with Jim just today when I realized I had this calendar snafu, and he also said that it's fine that, the building can be left open for the opening. But we need to make sure, like, there are people here,
Yeah,
you're not here. On the 6th, on Friday,
I think I'd probably.
okay, it's Karen's,
I'm definitely not
Karen's
here.
out. Michelle out,
I
Abdul, are
can,
you
I
here?
can be here, yes.
Okay, great, because. I feel like that's a. I wanted Victoria to kind of weigh in on that too. Tracy, are you here?
it looks like I will be.
Okay.
It's just I'd be teaching. Wednesday, I'd have to be evenings.
Evenings, okay. Well, if we can get it set up,
Yeah.
but you're here for the opening, we want sort of critical mass for the opening. Um,
And the opening is, tell me again,
well, we haven't promoted it yet.
Okay.
We're thinking Friday night.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, you're right, you live here, so you leave, but people who are.
But other,
visitors, they
other
come.
people come.
And so.
But then
are
you gotta
we
do it
missing-
Friday, it can't start before 7, when you do Friday things with the intent of the people who are coming. Like 7 is a push of a start, we always get in trouble if we do 7 for Friday. So,
I think maybe the opening would be even better on Saturday or
what
Sunday.
if it was Saturday right after the farmer's market?
Where,
Day, Saturday?
well, but
Is that
isn't
weird?
that, but isn't that the day of the fest?
It's
So
on
no, the
Sunday.
Harvest Fest is Sunday from noon to 5.
Oh, okay, well then I think Saturday.
So Saturday,
Yeah.
so we have that art gallery opening, so maybe.
Yeah, it was on Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's on
the press
Saturday,
release.
but
that's
like, why not,
Oh, yeah,
right,
Yeah.
like, maybe bringing
Yeah.
people.
I lost that.
different kind of.
I either lost it or didn't have it.
Oh, they
I
are
only
gathering?
had- Yeah, I only had one of those.
Okay.
I have that, I'll forward it to everybody though.
Okay, there.
It's Saturday the 7th from 3 to 6.
And the market closes at 12.
Is it still going in October?
Yeah. First week of November.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, so okay,
I mean,
so
No, I think
Anything would
that's
change,
great, and
but-
then if there are 3,000 people that come to the Harvest Festival. And we just kind of direct them over here at
But
the,
that's on Sunday.
oh, right, okay.
No, but Saturday sounds better to me, I think is, you know,
Okay, so maybe what we'll do is we'll send this out, I'll put the options down. In like an email so we can hear from the other people too, because we need to make sure people are there. I mean, Monday is a holiday, so going after the Harvest Fest or the end of the Harvest Fest, because it's usually winding down by 4:30, you know, we doing. Right after the Harvest Fest might not be bad.
It'd be
Right?
good.
People are already parked here. And then I would be back. I'll just done the red eye. Yeah, raring to go. Yeah, but
I think that's kind of good, actually.
What if
Okay.
if it's sort of not coincides, but it's kind of, so people are parking, coming to the Harvest Festival. And then there's also this, they can come into it, pop into it. They don't have to plan an extra thing, they're
Yeah.
already here.
yeah,
What about that?
I think that's
Like,
really
it is
good.
That sounds
opening
good
at the
to me.
same time,
Yeah.
right?
I agree. I completely agree. I feel like, I mean, Fran, you're WBA. I would wanna definitely pass it through WBA and Parks and Rec, cause that's
Yeah.
their event, and I don't want them to think that we're competing.
Right,
So that's why I was kind of thinking if we tag on right at the end,
right.
as it's winding
Yeah,
down, maybe they would feel better about that, but yeah. So maybe like from 4 to 6
Yeah,
and the
The fact,
harvest. Yeah,
that many people are at the Harvest Festival. By the end of the day, it's dwindled enormously, so it's not that there's necessarily a flow of people that can come from the Harvest Festival to
Right.
a photography opening. So I don't think that's a good assumption. You know, in many cases, people would be coming out for 2 events. I'm not objecting to it, but I'm just saying that I don't think there are necessarily tons of people around at that point.
no, it's definitely, there are not 3,000 people still there at 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It probably would be the most numbers would be right at this opening of it. the start.
Yeah, it's
People
like a lunch type
do-
thing.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not a
the beginning and the earlier part of the afternoon is the most active part of it.
And if we did an opening that was coinciding, do you feel like the WBA or Parks and Rec would feel that that was a competition? Like, how do you think they would feel about that?
You know, I really can't speak for anyone else. I mean, I don't see it as a competition. But I do see them as 2 entirely separate events. That are not necessarily going to draw the same audience.
Yeah.
Or
I agree.
or for somebody for whom it is going to draw the same audience, they're going to go home and come back again.
Yeah.
What if
It's
it's
not- It's not different than if it were being held at another time.
about it being during the farmer's market, the tail end of the farmer's market?
That's what Karen was saying for the midday Saturday.
That sounds
Like,
better.
you think that sounds better?
That crowd will walk
Well, those
here.
people are actually parked in this parking lot.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Not. at
That
the
sounds-
pavilion parking lot.
That
Right,
sounds better to me.
so like a
Yeah.
noon to 2 kind of, like midday as the
Yes,
farmer's market's kind of wrapping up,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
and then we'll have someone there with a sign.
And what I do like about that is that's a weekend that our weekenders come into town,
Yeah.
and Friday night, they might not be here yet.
They might not.
Yes,
no.
you're
And if
right.
we hit the end hours of the
Yeah.
farmer's market, then we'll precede the new galleries opening.
Yeah, right,
Yes.
but you know,
Three
they're
to
3 to 6.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's,
Saturday,
that's good. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's a good one.
I'm still not here. but. But as long as we get enough people to volunteer,
Yeah.
because then we're.
I will be here that weekend for
Oh,
sure.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because, and we've got.
A
I'm
rare
not sure for sure, I'm like, I think I might be.
Well, I just realized, well, Ken's going, yeah, I just know Ken's going, so I'm home. So, yeah,
So. I will send that around, I wanna make sure, before we. I'll just let everybody know that we agree that
Yeah.
Saturday noon to 2 seems like the right time, we'll get the rest of everybody weighing in
Great.
on that.
I think it sounds great.
So I was playing around with Canva to start making a poster for this. We can scrap it and start over, but
You,
I figure, you know, we gotta start getting it on the calendar,
yeah,
start
promoting
doing
it.
it, yeah, doing our thing. Obviously, that opening day part is.
that is
Do
beautiful.
you have like a constant contact that you can send them that information about the photography?
No, we don't have one yet.
Can we I can ask the Washington Arts Association to piggyback with us and
If they-
send it to a constant contact
If they
in
would, that
the
would be
information.
great. Yeah,
How about on the town, when the town writes of the events coming up?
yep, we can
That
put it in the
we can put it
selectmen.
in the selectmen,
Yeah, we can put it on
definitely.
the selectmen.
So that's a
and
lot,
we can
yeah,
Put it on the explore calendar.
Yeah.
Yep,
because that's the arty crowd, you know, you want to aim at those people, art collector,
right, right, right,
painters, artists,
yeah.
yeah.
So good, so. What else do we need to talk about? We need to talk about. So. Victoria was talking about making the event sort of an event, and she mentioned having like a poetry reading. She was thinking of you possibly, or our previous poet laureate, Debbie. Maybe something that has to do with the seasons, since that was the theme of the show, or music, or whatever, like, what do we, we should talk about food, should we get some things donated, are people gonna bring stuff, like, what do we want it to look like, we gotta,
Think about that.
Yeah, we gotta
Well, I
think about
won't be here, but, I mean, I'd be happy to read, but I'm not gonna be here, but just conceptually, I think it's very nice, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but I think there should be some refreshment. Sort of a table when you walk in.
Mojitos, people
Do you have some left over?
find friends and photos like crazy. If you give people 1 or 2 drinks, they start seeing things differently, and they get more interested in it.
That works.
But, you know, it could just be, I don't know, just a little, you know, some cookies, maybe some water. Just some, you know, just a little hospitality. I don't think it has to be a lot. But I do think it's an important thing to always have a little
I
hospitality.
agree, and we want it to look nice, you know, we'll get a couple
Absolutely.
tablecloths, maybe some flowers.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a midday thing, so if.
they're
bake some
expecting
cookies
us.
Or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Harvest Fest weekend. Yeah, well, I'm just thinking, do we put out some cider donuts from
Yeah.
April, or?
There you go,
You
some
know,
cider and some donuts, perfect.
Some tea. Or
Right,
something
cinnamon
cider.
tea,
Cider.
mulled cider.
Yep. I mean,
I
that,
don't think,
we can get,
I mean, it could be a hot day.
I know, it's true. October, what are we talking about, 7?
It could be
It
hotter.
could be
than-
hot,
It could be.
Yeah,
still,
you never know.
you never know, well, and that might be something that's sort of decided that week. We'll
Yeah,
just
what are
see
we
what the
gonna
weather,
do?
you know,
What the weather is.
because. Yeah, if it's looking like it's gonna be cold, it's nice having a
Yeah.
hot drink, like a warm cider.
Yeah.
And if it's really hot, we'll have apple cider.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with what we have available. I mean, is there a hot water thing that is available to us to use. I don't know what the town has, or who do we go to for that type of stuff?
So the kitchen upstairs is pretty sparse. I mean, they've got tons of plates.
All right.
Glasses, I mean,
Did you bring them from the Green Bear or something, they were left over?
Right.
I found a basket in the cabinet. There's a little mini kitchen up there. And in these old built-in cabinets, there are plates and coffee cups serviced for like 100.
Yeah.
Just stacks and
Yeah.
stacks of, but it's just plates and small plates, large and small plates and coffee cups, which I'm not gonna be here. I am so okay with bringing down the mugs and bringing them home to run in the dishwasher when we're done. Like, you know, like instead of having paper cups, it
Yeah.
just looks nice and
I
stuff
agree.
like that. So I
No
don't know,
plastic.
right? No, I
No.
mean, that's why I don't usually bring down plastic, but we'd have to find somebody to do that. So I'll talk to Victoria. Hopefully she's here that weekend. If we can get some volunteers. I don't think it has to be crazy for it to be nice and
Yeah,
inviting. I do
Also,
think
on
music
the,
is
on the,
nice, but it doesn't have to be live
on the
necessarily.
hot thing, Jan may have some, one of these,
Carafe
hot.
thingies. Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Percolator.
Percolator
no,
thing or
the,
some heater.
next to the what,
Oh, Jen Pody,
Jan,
and
yeah,
the senior center.
the senior
I
center,
would ask.
they have tons of,
Otherwise,
they have
I
a huge
am
kitchen.
totally fine with, you know, borrowing stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and she, I can ask
There's
her,
definitely several
Yeah,
up
I know.
on top shelf.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
Do
she,
you know work? I don't know, do you guys know?
Well, but they certainly will
Okay.
keep stuff warm.
Yeah.
Like if you, I don't know if they all percolate,
Right,
but we're not making coffee.
yeah.
So if you're just keeping
Hot
something
water.
warm, you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
plug it in.
We always do it in a crock pot when we do the flawless
Mhm.
winter events, we do cider in like a big crock pot.
I've got two.
Cause.
I know, and I have
Yeah.
one.
So, okay. There's
This is
options.
good, yeah, there's options. I feel like we've got resources here, we can pull this together.
Yep.
It's August now, so we'll solidify the dates and the times, figure out who's gonna be here, and maybe by our next meeting, or we'll get like a little subcommittee on freshmen. I'm happy to help get all the equipment and stuff together before I leave, so that it's ready to, you know, I can put it there in the on Wednesday. I don't think there's anything else going on between.
Yep.
now and then.
And we'll have, when do you fly out? I have Thursday day open, but
I fly like 6 in the morning on
Ouch.
Thursday,
Ouch,
I
yeah.
know, ouch.
Where in
I-
California are you going?
We're flying into San Francisco, somewhere in wine country, it's gonna be beautiful and
Oh,
schmancy, and
it's so,
I'm leaving at 1 in the morning on Saturday night, so I get into JFK.
ugh,
6 in the morning, I don't know.
brutal.
Brutal.
A little bit
the
later.
next weekend we.
1 AM
family
flight
thing,
comes in around 10:30.
To 10:30?
Yeah.
It's like a 5 or 6 hour flight, but
The
it's
11:30 PM comes in at 8.
Oh,
About one.
okay.
Nice.
That's the boat to JFK.
Okay, so 10 a.m.
So you.
I'll get in around, so I will get into town midday. But anyway,
Like, yeah.
so that's good, so
High five each other.
let's see, can we get a question, donate, other questions, is there any craft beer spirits that we could tap to donate? I mean, she was thinking of a Friday night, now we're thinking of a Saturday afternoon, so I feel like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday
spirits
night
are-
is not good.
no, I agree.
No.
For all the reasons we talked about, but I feel like that changes sort of the vibe, right?
Yeah.
It's an afternoon, it's a cookies and
Gonna
a
have fun at
donuts.
Litchfield
Yeah.
Distillery.
Well,
Right,
So,
like you don't
yeah.
really need to do that at
Yeah.
noon.
no.
Okay, we'll keep thinking about it, but I feel like we've made some progress. What do we, and, is that flyer okay?
Yeah, it's
I like the
beautiful.
flyer. I think it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can put our logo on it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what's missing.
Our logo.
We haven't decided yet,
Yeah.
so,
And we'll
So
do a
we're
pop
kind of-
on that black background. It'll look
Yeah.
really great. What I also like about it is it looks good on white and.
Yeah.
I would like a background, I'm not decided on the black, but I think it will look more sophisticated with a colored background.
I
So
like it on white.
You
but-
can think about it.
Yeah, we can think about it.
Well, it
It's
depends.
hard for, I would have to go back to the designer to ask them to do that,
Yeah.
because right now, I'm just gonna be screenshotting a little square.
Yeah,
Until we have like different versions.
File.
Yeah, and I'm sort of envisioning maybe moving this part of the date down here and having it be this square, like right here in lower.
Yeah,
That seem good?
That's beautiful.
great.
Okay. All right, so I'll work on that. We've already discussed the sandwich board,
Yeah,
so we can move on from that. Do we have any other business to come?
Public comment, no.
No public. Victoria had a couple of other things. We had talked at the last meeting about, like shared art staffing, ASAP is looking for a development director. I know there are a couple other organizations looking for people. I feel like
We
we
just lost our.
We did. So you
We're,
there?
we're newly on that list. I wouldn't have said that at this meeting. So we go ahead and say, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a topic in and of itself, like Victoria's got some idea about like an arts council person and a stipend, but I don't know really where that's coming from, so we'll have to have a talk about that.
okay.
I don't know, but I do think that that's an interesting idea that, you know, we could maybe try to help facilitate, and it's come up in my other meetings too, for other nonprofits that aren't just arts, because WA was just hiring somebody. You know, if we've got three arts organizations that are all sort of part-time, can you work together and make it a full-time and hire
Oh, I see.
you know, does that help or hurt? Sometimes it helps because it's now a full-time job and that's what people are looking for. Sometimes people want part-time, I don't know. But, if it's similar skill sets that you're looking for, I think,
The development seems to be, a changeover on that, if I'm correct. So it might be moving them to put them together so that it, you know, someone feels a little more fully available for, they're utilized, I guess is a better term, you know?
yeah, yeah.
well, I think while we are looking for somebody who is technologically savvy,
Mhm.
and I think we got one.
Oh, you do?
I
Good.
can't talk
Well,
about,
and the museum was talking about,
yeah,
the library was talking, like, not ready to hire yet, but just talking about how that's something that's sort of missing in their whole. Like, in their,
it makes such a difference.
the social media, their website,
Oh,
it
yeah.
all kind of needs refresh, and it's not really anybody's thing, but. Like, the organizations could work together possibly. So, a topic for next time, any other business come before the community, the council?
I think we are more powerful if we all collaborate with each other. Especially for us, the Art Council for Washington
I agree,
to have. Yeah.
critical mass,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's why I think it's really cool that we're gonna be doing this before that art opening.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, maybe then people come for the day, they come to
Right,
the farmer's
so-
market and they're like, oh, what are we gonna do?
Go to Marty's, get a
There's-
bite to eat, then go to the
Yeah,
next thing,
there's
right?
all these
It's-
things going on,
the-
so I think
Yeah.
right, and they can go to WA in between those two, right, if your art's your thing.
Well, we can have our invitational cards at that art place opening, and we will have theirs here.
Right,
And at the WA,
exactly,
So that
exactly,
people can go from there to here, from here to there.
I agree. I,
It works. We are a small village
yeah,
and we need to really cooperate with each other.
I so agree.
I agree, I think that's good synergy there. All right,
Okay,
if there's no other business, move to adjourn,
second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, here we go, all right, meeting well done.
So Abdo, I will email you and
Yes.
then you'll connect me with.
Yes,
Thanks for
you
joining
will
us,
love it.
Sabrina.
Fantastic.
You will love it. I mean, he's fun.
I
Yeah.
would love to
Yeah.
connect. That would be great.